Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Suzerain with me, your host, Parallax. In the previous episode, we went all the way out here to this city, Benfi, and we had a wonderful evening opening up an annual carnival that they have out there. Unfortunately, our wife she wanted to be the one to open up the festivities, but we declined and we told her that was inappropriate because we'd be using, our presidential authority to give her a position to speak on, and the people of the city had not invited her. They had invited an old mayor to come and open up the festivities. While the old mayor was opening the festivities, instead of just saying, hey everybody, the the carnival is open, hooray, let's go play, he started making a lot of political points about how women were becoming scandalous and they should be, more modest. And our wife got mad and yelled at him. We didn't stop our wife. Then the guy yelled at our wife, telling her she should know her place. So it was a very tense situation that had happened there. We have some news here. Let's read the news. What does it say? Oh yes, this is me. I met with. I'm going to be meeting. Excuse me. I'm going to be meeting with Angolia and Wayland. We're going to be hashing out hopefully a new trade deal and an alliance. And then down here, we'll be working out a trade deal and closing the borders to immigrants. And then over here in Rumburg, they're still like, they've done some stuff with us. They've messed with us a little bit. We denounced them on the international stage. They said that we were causing instability. They weren't wrong. If you look at our order, we had these. Oh, where is it here? Holy moly! Nationwide protests have been quelled thanks to our devoted efforts. Wow. See, I didn't know that. The last time we looked here at this order tab, it had said something to the effect of, like, it was violent protests, which was red, and then it went down to orange protests, which was peaceful protest, and now it says nationwide protests are quelled. I did not know that. That is something brand new that I just saw right this moment, and it says that I don't know if these things help with that. Like, I don't know if these things. I don't know. Anyway, that's awesome. We should not get any more headlines of people being blown up or stabbed or poisoned or anything like that. Our national unrest because of the killing of the poet, the communist poet, they're done. They're over with. Streamline immigration, that's great. Organized crime and corruption, our anti-corruption police, those two should be. This right here should be spearheading that. Like, those two should be turning orange any time now. Man, that's wonderful. We're gonna fix the lack of allies, and we're gonna fix that too. Our economy, God, our economy is just in shambles. What happened here? Okay, help me figure this out. There's a lot of really intelligent people who come and comment in these videos, so please help me figure this out. There's a trade war going on between the two superpowers of the world. One is capitalist, one is communist. It's the United States and Russia. And from what I understand, because there's this economic war going on between these two superpowers, our economy took a -4 or -3 hit, right? Our budget's at -6 now because we lost -4 income or -3. I can't remember. But help me figure this out. You have 10 countries in the world, okay? You have 10 countries in the world. 4 of them are allied with the West. 4 of them are allied with the East. 4 go with America. 4 go with Russia. That's 8 countries out of the 10 have picked a side. Our country, Swarland, we're neutral. We're not aligned with either of those two. So when the trade war broke out, how are we getting screwed? Does anybody want to explain that to me? When the trade war broke out, when the West started imposing embargoes on the East, why did our economy take a huge hit? Let's go through it. Let's imagine that there is a Western aligned country that was importing oranges from an Eastern aligned company. And country, not company, country. When the embargoes happened, they can no longer import those oranges, because if they import those oranges, they're going to be giving money to an Eastern aligned power, and that's bad. So they start buying Thorland oranges. Not quite as tasty, but because we're neutral, they start buying from us. Right? Right? This is not bad for us. This is an opportunity for our country to grow in its exports, because many of the world's countries are no longer doing business with each other, and they need oranges because there's a standard of living that they want to keep up in their home countries. Someone explained to me how we're getting screwed here. I thought this would be good for us. Reports from our border with city shows that there are about 1,000 people running away from the military forces toward... Oh, good. So whatever's happening here, it's like genocide. There's an ethnic cleansing, I suppose, going on, and these people, it's not enough for them that these people who live here, who they don't like, flee into our country. They want them gone. They want us to seal the border, and they want to have control over these people. I don't know how I feel about it. Is this stuff popping up? Because I really kind of feel like when I started this game, this was the only thing going. And then all of a sudden I saw down here something happened, and now something up here has happened. I don't think that's how the game works, but I feel like things are popping up. Protests and occasional looting continues in the region of Nargis. The police reports that the violence has been minimized and the situation is mostly under control outside the big cities. Police force report that several militants have been hiding among the protesters and are being watched closely. We just got done talking about how our nationwide protests were quelled and that they're a done deal, and then we get another thing saying, but, hold on. But there is more. Limited human rights, limited women's rights. Oh, holy moly. We've done a lot. We have done a lot with regards to the law. Alright, let's go ahead and move on. This is going to pick up that night. After we got done opening this up, we drove on the highway or we flew home. So this is going to be down... Oh, this is just downtime at home. Okay. I thought this would be later that... Oh, it is. It felt like an eternity since the festival. Had it really been less than 24 hours. I was at home now, drinking an afternoon coffee on my balcony. A stack of newspapers lay by my side. I picked them up one by one, reading and rereading the articles about the festival. Some of the newspapers were merciless against Monica for interrupting Curtin during his speech. A few even called her to be barred from political matters. Others expressed their support. In any event, I was relieved that the incident hadn't reflected too badly on me. I was putting the last newspapers down as Monica joined me on the balcony. Listen, can we talk for a bit? This is Monica. This is our lovely wife. Of course, what is it? Monica sat and picked up the nearest newspaper. She pointed to a particularly insulting headline on the front page. I never in a million years would have wished for this, Anton. I just wanted to thank you for supporting me and apologize for creating such a spectacle. All I wanted was to bring the people of Sorlin together the way you're able to, but not like this. Her eyes were getting moist. A single tear fell onto the newsprint. If you're going to succeed in this, you have to be stronger. I know you can be. It's okay. Everything is under control. Wipe her tears away. I did warn you, but you were always stubborn. Let's wipe her tear away. Let's just do that. Oh, Anton. Oh, Anton, you devil. You devil. Her eyes filled with gratitude. I could see that she'd slept as little as I since the festival. Thank you. One more thing. You know how stubborn I am. Perhaps the festival wasn't the proper forum to air my views on women's rights, but I still need to do this. I want to officially adopt this cause as First Lady, to actually get involved in politics, not just give impromptu speeches. I could even help your education minister with those. If you don't know, the education minister and I don't like her. I feel like she doesn't... Okay, let me back up. I do like her. I think she is a great person, and I think she's passionate and she's capable. I do not like the way that she inserts herself into conversations. I don't like how she shoehorns her agenda into conversations. I understand that as a minister, she has liberties other people don't, but at the same time, she's abusing that privilege in a manner that I feel is not acceptable. And I have been playing my character that way. I have been playing this guy in that manner where I try to keep things. I try to act as the president and not as Anton. Like I try to do things that the president needs to get done and tries to be efficient with his time and executes the responsibilities of the office. I don't feel like she does that. I feel like she uses it more of a club. I know this is something you're passionate about as well. Can I count on you? I feel like is Monica going to help us, or is she going to screw us here? We already saw how someone could get under her skin and how she could go off the rails and yell at that person. Do we really, 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 really want to have somebody who's kind of a loose cannon working with somebody who is really good at riling people up? The education minister is good at riling people up. Like, she will piss people off. She can't. I mean, I don't know. No one elected her. No one elected her. It would be inappropriate. It would be inappropriate. Yeah. You know what? Fine. But know this, I will never forget how you let me down, ever. The noise came from the balcony. We both turned our heads to see Anna standing there, a confused look. Look, this kind of hits close to home for me. Like, what a piece of trash. What a piece of trash. To make an insanely bad scene somewhere, and then you support that person. You support them in front of the entire world. You support them, and then the person has the audacity to ask you for something else. And when you say no to that, then they get even more angry with you. Like what's the deal? You know, like, when did... I don't know. I don't know. Papa, Mama, why are you fighting? I'm just going to stay silent. I'm going to let her handle this. It's nothing. Your papa and I were having a little disagreement. Come on, Diana, let's go to the kitchen. Monica pierced me with her eyes as they left the balcony and closed the door behind them. Her words repeated in my head again and again. I will never forget how you let me down, ever. I thought to myself, she was never going to. Yeah, well, if she's not the adult in the room, then we're going to be the adult in the room. And the adult in the room, you don't just get to run around and do whatever you want whenever you feel like it, just because, you know, someone you know is in a position of power. That's not how it works. And if you love somebody, then that love never interferes with their job. You know, like, you don't say, give me this or else. Like, that's bad. So if she wants to go do that, fine. The Ministry of Statistics, along with the Ministry of Economics and the Central Bank, have delivered a preliminary economic status report detailing that the recession is deepening and that the financial system is headed toward a potential collapse if we don't take serious action. Yeah, no poo-poo. No poo-poo. The highway is not completed. For some freaking reason, we can't get this trade deal worked out with these people. And there's a trade war that I don't know how we're suffering from. Unless, for some reason, the West and the East are both like, we're not going to accept anything from you because you're neutral. We're only dealing with our allies. Budget allocation of the armed forces. Oh. That says the Maroon Palace. White Room, Maroon Palace. The White Room, Maroon Palace is over here. That's, this is in the wrong place. What is this one? Discussion on the formation of a new police force. Hold on 1 second here. Cats. Cats are not man's best friend. Okay, discussion, the formation. Let's do this. I'd rather talk about the police. Oh, we had a newspaper article. Can I read that right quick? Is now in full motion, and the festival goers are enjoying the many attractions set up. However, started eventfully. Mayor's opening speech was interrupted by the First Lady, by the mayor, after he declared the festivals were perversions. The crowd absolutely loved the response from the First Lady, leaving the mayor embarrassed. If we had read that before, then I don't know. Well, I don't know. It's still not appropriate. Okay. Carl arrived for a meeting to discuss the new police force. After informed us of his arrival, Lucian opened the door and let him in. Hello, Mr. President. Mr. Glade, what a sunny day, isn't it? The weather outside was beautiful indeed. Clear skies and sunshine made the scenery look lively. I could even hear the sounds of birds chirping from the palace garden. You're right. I need to go out more often nowadays. Good to see you, Carl. How have you been? Good idea, and when you do, Mr. President, the Presidential Guard will be there to protect you as always. Please have a seat. We don't want you to feel uncomfortable. I'm used to being uncomfortable. He took a seat and corrected his posture. We have been informed of the establishment of the anti-corruption police under the Ministry of Justice. Indeed, so Minister Morgan has given me full authority to lead the new force in order to fight corruption from within. It's a very powerful force, one that didn't exist in Sorlin before. The important question for us is where your loyalties lie. Congratulations, I hope you will be close partners in the fight against corruption. I didn't think about this until much later, but this police force sets a precedent, my goodness, a precedent for there to be a armed force that answers only to the minister and the president. That's dangerous. That is not. This was not a good idea. Like, if anybody, like we just said here, like, where do your loyalties lie? We could use this guy to really screw people over, right? And even if we disbanded him right before we left office, like if we're getting voted out and we disband it like 10 seconds before we know we're voted, like our deal is done. Number one, it could be revived by the next president, and number two, that next president now can be like, oh, now we're going to be corrupt, and now we're going to take out people left and right. So this anti-corruption police, it really needs to be built. It needs to have absolute autonomy, and that oh, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you make these people uncorruptible. Like, I don't know how you don't. It's regulatory capture, right? Bad guys can figure out a way to become the chief of police, and then now they're in control, right? Vigilance, eternal vigilance. The structure being separated from the interior helps maintain perspective and independence from previous hierarchies. I want to make it absolutely clear, my belief in you as a leader is unquestionable. Minister Morgan, Minister M, though not as inspiring as you are, has also shown great capability. The more I work with her, the more I'm convinced that she is very motivated and an efficient administrator. She takes her work personally. Her motives to fight corruption are real. So the anti-corruption police is separate from the interior. You are our best man for the job, and I'm sure you will excel at it. Ugh. She takes her work personally. Her motives to fight corruption are real. Thanks to the resources diversion to her ministry, those objectives can now be met. Justice will indeed be served. I feel like this guy is trying to blow smoke up our butt. Like, I feel like he's not good. Carl leaned closer and lowered his voice. Oh, here we go. There are elements within our state that have ulterior motives. Elaborate, please. May I speak with you frankly, sir? Of course. There are some very powerful deep state forces inside the administration. Our investigations have just begun, but certain links we have discovered are troubling. Mr. Hawker, has financial and other ties to certain figures. He is a dangerous man. Currently, we are collecting evidence to find out exactly what his network comprises. Dang it. So Hawker is on the Supreme Court, and Hawker is a member of the quote-quote old guard. Hawker is not going to help us with our reforms. The anti-corruption police are now targeting somebody who is actively working against us and our reforms. So this is what I was afraid of. and I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it until later, that I don't mind there being an anti-corruption force, but it can't answer directly to the president. It has to answer to somebody much lower down the chain, and then their authority has to kind of be absolute. That way, I don't even know how you'd fix this problem. This is what's going to happen. We're going to collect dirt on him, and then we're either going to make him vote for the reforms and then let him go, or we are going to put him in prison, and then someone, I don't know what's going to happen. We always suspected the existence of such a deep state. The real question is, this is our guy, though. This is our chief strategist. This isn't Simon. We like Simon a lot, but this is our guy. Who in the government and the cabinet is on Mr. Hawker's side? Don't poke the bear when we are not ready to fight it. Maintain low-key operations. I guess Minister M is on our side on this. She really wants to tackle corruption inside. We need to find out who has ulterior motives and root them out of the administration. Keep pursuing this, Carl. If you encounter any obstacles, my full authority will protect you. My goodness. This is one of the most, this is difficult. I thought we were going to set up like who they answered to and like their deals. I didn't think we were going to like start targeting people. Okay, so this guy who is the head of the anti-corruption police is now telling me that the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court has ties to dangerous men and that he is the head of a deep state. We're not going to do the last one. I guess we're going to do this one. I don't like this whole, I guess she's on our side on this. I don't like that, and nor do I like this one, where I tell them don't poke the bear, like maintain low-key operations. We need to find out who has ulterior motives. We need to find out who's not here for the best interests of Sorland. Okay, that's why we founded the police. This is what we wanted them to do. There you go. We need to find out who has ulterior motives and root them out of the administration. I couldn't agree more. Anyone who corrupts our system and creates a parallel organization is a threat to... Yes, the most important subject here is the old guard establishment. They pose a direct threat to us. They do, but not because they can be the old guard. Like, they can have their political beliefs. Man, this sucks. Once enough evidence is gathered, we should be able to begin the corruption trials if we want to. Hawker, Heron, and the rest of the guard in the Supreme Court won't be able to be prosecuted at all. This means we can't cut the head off the snake, but we will be able to strangle everyone around them. Besides them, there are other elements to be aware of. The oligarchs seem to have some people in the inside as well. We have received some unconfirmed reports about Mr. Tusk having bought people into the administration. Yeah, having bought people. Yeah, this guy. I'm happy we're going after him. This is the type of person I would want to go after. I would not want to go after a Supreme Court justice, right? Because his political beliefs, he can have them. But this guy, he has, and don't think for one second that I'm just pissed at this guy. But remember, he's tried to actively bribe us once. Like, he walked in there with the check in hand. So he tried to actively bribe us once, and then he was a jerk 2 more times, telling us that we needed to do what he wanted or things are going to be bad. So this guy, Tusk, absolutely go after him. And they seem to be evading taxes through bribery and exploitation of gray areas in our law. Our investigation in... Okay, right, one of the big cities. And Narbel have also found some suspicious financial activities from some of their corporations. If their tax returns were to be made public, it would help us track irregularities in their filings. We could look further into Tusk, and Umber Group bribery should be eradicated from the system. Yeah, I want to go after that guy. If that's your desire, we can certainly inquire further about their operations. This guy also told us to do. This guy also like straight up said, "You will let me do whatever I want in this country, and if you don't, I'll turn the media against you." Period. Strong. In the media and many other industries, there are some patterns we observe that are unusual. It really seems like they have a powerful influence in the majority of the so-called independent news organizations. They might not be so independent after all. Yes, Marcel offered me a deal before and needs to be investigated. We certainly can. I wish we had proof of the incident. It would help in the case against him. Earl sighed. Last but not least is the opposition leader, Riker. We have received intelligence he has connections to. Of course, upon further inquiries, we can't see anything illegal here besides a mismatch of information. The old guard must have pushed this forward. We shouldn't even consider moving on the reformist leader in our position. Yeah, there is nothing illegal, so why even talk about this? We must have some dirt on him. We should look deeper. Yeah, Riker is a loyal servant of Sorland. Yeah. I wanted to discourse all the information that the APC has. There are so many potential corruption cases here. Therefore, we need to pick a faction to focus on. We can't investigate everyone within the remainder of the term and come up with a thorough and compelling case. The most logical step would be to use the APC to pressure the oligarchs or the old guard. Drain the swamp. We just got an achievement called Drain the Swamp. Where should we concentrate our anti-corruption efforts? Hawker and the old guard, Tusk and the oligarchs, or the opposition? Tusk and the oligarchs. Let's think about it. Hawker and the old guard. Tusk and the oligarchs. You know what? We're going to do Tusk and the oligarchs. If we can get the economy rolling, and then I think, I mean, this is just our first term. Let's take these guys out and get the freaking economy going. How about that? Yes, sir. We will focus our research and investigation on the oligarchs. Well, it has been decided we should conclude the meeting. Thank you for your time, Carl. Is this Carl? Yeah. Mr. Yeah, good day and good luck, Mr. Yeah, let's keep it professional there. Good day, sir. That's awesome. That was a great meeting. Lovely. Okay, let's go here and talk about the military. Now, the military didn't get their funding cut, but they sure as crap didn't get it extended. So this guy's probably going to be a little mad at us, and we're going to have to make a couple of decisions about what we're doing here. Peter's here. Nice. All right, this is the general. He's like the defense minister. This is Peter. He's our vice president. And I don't think I've met this guy before. Maybe once before, but not often. Very well, Mr. Vice President. We have prepared a briefing to convey further details about the current situation of our military. Which branch would you like to know about? Let's do the Army first. According to the latest reports from Camp Strongarm, currently we field 6 armies totaling up to approximately 400,000 active troops. That's pretty good, 6 armies, which is a good amount. The real issue here is quality, not quantity. The real issue we are having is the quality, not quantity. What is the current equipment status? Our army is quite outdated. By today's military standards, most of our equipment is 2 decades old. To make up for our lack of modern military equipment, we resort to a large number of soldiers, which is not really a long-term solution. I have been trying hard to reduce the negative effects of this problem. We don't need a modernization program, a standardization purchase of lacking equipment would do. We don't need a modernization program. I'm not understanding. I have been trying hard to reduce the negative effects of this problem. We don't need a modernization program. A standardization purchase of lacking equipment would do. We need more funding toward expanding the military size, otherwise our army will be seen as weak. Where exactly is our army deployed at right now? The 1st Army is stationed in Lespen? Where's Lespen? Yeah, where? It zoomed in here. I don't see Lespen anywhere. And Wayland. Oh. Is Lespen another? Oh, yes. So the first army is strung out all through here. So that's the first army. All right, good. The second army, our largest force, has been situated by the, of course, the second army has a large mountain commando force, and it's the most adequately equipped army to face Rumburg. The third army is near the Angolian border and the coastal areas facing, yep. Due to our bitter past, our coastal defense force is always on alert. The decimation of our fleet is still not forgotten. How do we compare to other armies? Rumburg fields about 6 armies amounting to 1,000,000 soldiers. Fields about 5 armies, which is 100,000, and fields 1 army of about 140,000. What? These guys field 1 army of 140,000 soldiers. The people who live to the right, they must be... Like, let's think about it. If this place over here only fields 140,000 soldiers, then all of their friends to the north and to the east, and I guess to the south, wherever that is, they must be really, really, really good friends with each other. Wayland fields an army of about 100,000 soldiers, and only fields 2 armies with a total. Okay, so that's not Wayland, and then them, and then yeah. Okay, cool. The sheer size of Rumburg's army is because of their forced conscription laws. Due to their massive gold reserves, they are able to afford it. On the other hand, the army is the most advanced, followed by the army. Both of these countries put lots of money into modernizing their military. I'm curious about another branch. Very well. Let's talk about the Navy. Our Navy currently consists of 59 ships with a total of 60,000 sailors and support staff. As you know, these ships are commanded from our main naval base in... Okay, beautiful. I love it. Right, just right north of wherever, of our capital. Where in coordinate where our flagship SN Renan is docked. How does our Navy compare to others? Our Navy is dwarfed by the size of the Valgazalian Navy. I don't even know, which has 149 ships. Wow. And the Angolian Navy that has 81 ships. We only surpass in terms of our Navy as they have less than 30. As you can see, the situation is dire, but the solution is not just more ships. To make a truly better Navy, we need to equip our ships with more modern radar and sonar systems. More outdated ships won't mean much. Which seas do our navies currently patrol? We are patrolling the Marquian Sea, the Gray Strait, and the Ashantin Sea. Oh, yep. Down here, man, we're patrolling. Oh, we do, yeah, because we have, this is our land. Of course we'd be pursuing here. And then we pursue this sea, which is kind of our home sea, and then we the Gray Strait, which is, I think, is what they call this here. Our Navy protects all our coastal regions. However, to make sure we are not thinning out our defenses, we prioritize certain regions over others, like greater. Yep, that's where our capital is. We often patrol these routes that are close to the shipping lanes, especially the Gray Strait. The amount of cargo that goes through that area is eye-opening. Another thing to note is after the takeover of... This is that little island, by the way. Apparently, and this sucks, apparently Angola took over this island when these guys had like a political civil war. And they have never taken it back, even though they could. I mean, they could put a quarantine around this right here. They could take it back. I don't know what these people would do to stop it. I don't know why they haven't taken it yet, but whatever. We also take part in some joint Navy drills as well. Let's hear about how is our capabilities and power projection. The truth is we are limited to our near region due to the size and technological level of our Navy ships. If we have modern support vessels, we could participate in international operations. That's right, we still hold some power though. If we need to be, we could block the trade at the Marconian Sea. To make up for our weakness, allying ourselves to a naval power could also help protect our seas. Let's hear about the other branch, and it's just the Air Force left, I think. Our Air Force currently has 410 planes in the inventory, out of which only 140 are jet planes that are not in great condition. 30,000 pilots and support staff work in the Air Force, and they are commanded from the Air Force base in... Okay, cool. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. It prevents it from being shelled from the water. And it's not too far away. Yeah, okay, good. Central. What are our operational capabilities? Our planes can bomb targets within 400-kilometer radius of their airfield. They have a medium range and semi-effective nighttime bombing capabilities. At any time, we can field 7 air wings comprised of a total of 130 aircraft that can operate in combat duty. This is enough to subdue most targets. In terms of our bombing capability, we have on an average of 100 meters of precision. This is not great, but it's still within the effective radius of the bombs. How experienced are our pilots? Our pilots have an average experience. They have a total of 450 hours flight time with their craft before they are qualified. This gives them more than enough time to get used to it. This is low compared to 1,000 or to 1,500 in other countries. Yeah. Normally the hours per pilot should be higher, but due to the lack of funding, we can't increase the training times. Fuel costs are rather high. How does our Air Force work together with the other military branches? The Air Force is trained as an independent tactical support branch, which means it assists other branches but does not collaborate. This does cause some issues like friendly fire and missed close air support opportunities. There are ways to improve collaboration with joint operation rooms, something to think about, surely. All right, let's move on. The Ministry of Defense is disappointed about the lack of additional funds. We know that keeping the same budget for your military would cause, we knew that keeping the same budget for the military would cause some concern for you. The military is important, but it is not a priority right now. Resources were needed elsewhere. The military has always been well funded. I will be willing to support the military in other ways. We could come to an arrangement. Yeah. We live in a geostatic region with potential volatility. Once war or conflict comes knocking, that is when you will realize. We know that there have been high hopes, but the president has made his decision to prioritize other branches. We are stuck between a rock and a hard place without money. The military suffers from a budget overextension in order to keep up with other countries. No use complaining now. Looks like we can do with what we have. I have been planning to improve the quality of our armed forces by buying better military equipment. How would that be possible without funds? It won't be. There is one way. If we relieve half of the force that could create enough of a surplus, then we could invest in new equipment. If we release half of 400,000 troops, and we go down to 200,000 troops, that means that Rumberg would have quite the advantage over us. And the other country, Angola, if they helped us, if they allied with us, we'd be back up to 400,000 again. But we'd have more modern equipment. Now, Rumberg has tons of money, and what they have decided to do is they have decided to have conscripts. Most of that million-man army is conscripts. So I assume that their real army is modernized and has great equipment. So what would we be doing? We would just be giving ourselves a fighting chance against their real army, and then we would just eventually be overwhelmed by their 600,000 other people in their army, right? I don't know. Relieving half the armed forces sounds risky at best and destructive at worst. Quality over quantity, I like it. Go on. Let me look at the frickin' armed forces right quick. Gerrymander under defense. Oh, this is not gerrymander. It's that word. It's like grenadier. Yeah, is an armed law enforcement organization which maintains security and public order. It's primarily focused on rural security, but can be deployed as an asset to mayors. The military actively interferes in the political landscape, using their influence and power to further their will. Oh, I did not know they did that. I did not know they did that in our country. Holy crap. Decades-old equipment in the armed forces are negatively affecting the combat capabilities. So let's do it. Let's dismiss half of the people and let's give them better equipment. They're not going to be as politically influential because they're not going to have the numbers, right? Like they're just not going to have the numbers anymore, and we're going to get better equipment. I think this might be something to quality over quantity. I like it. Whose eyes widened? Who is this? So this guy says, the defense minister says to cut half and then put money into it. This guy, the chief of the armed forces, he's the Imperial Army before, not to holding positions such as colonel and major. He supported military coup, but later turned against him after mass executions, and he was among the group of officers who organized under. He was appointed brigadier general, and as a member of the shortest general staff, he became famed for his military victory along the Wayland border, where his smaller brigade destroyed an entire rebel army in the Battle of. He was later awarded the White Star, the highest medal that can be bestowed upon the individual by the person focused on one of the key supporters during the 1930s and 40s. He became the chief in 1945, became the oldest person to hold the title. He is part of the old guard. We were barely matching the size of half our neighbors, while the other half have armies 2 or 3 times bigger than ours. How on earth would discharging half the armed forces and buying new gear solve our defense issues? A better equipped, smaller force is much more preferable. We are 2 decades behind in gear and training due to the size and sluggishness of our forces. The reduction of the army would cause more unemployment, which would hurt the administration. No! 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 Oh man. Oh man. That sucks so much. I knew that was going to happen too. I kind of even started saying it earlier. I was like, man, if we get rid of half the people in the army, if we dump 200,000 people into the unemployment office, like in the middle of a recession and a trade war, oh man, that sucks so bad. Oh man. Oh man. Anti-corruption police force formed. A special police department has been formed to fight corruption within the state, businesses, and the police itself. The new anti-corruption force, anti-corruption police, will be serving its duties under the Justice Ministry of Sorlin. Nina and Carl and other government officials spent the past month building the anti-corruption department from scratch. The unit consists of officers from the General Police Service, the Justice Ministry, and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. We are ready. The newly appointed chief of the anti-corruption police. We are ready. We are already conducting a crackdown at corruption within our state institutions. Our officers started working on the intelligence reports. Man, that's good news. Okay. 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 I don't know, man. I don't know. Is it a good idea to have 200,000 troops running around unemployed? Is it a good idea to have 200,000 troops running around unemployed? Is it a good idea to have 200,000 pissed off former military personnel running around? I think the answer is no. I think the answer is no, that's not a good idea. But do I really want to reform the army? Yes. Yes, I do. But can we afford it? We absolutely, positively, 100% cannot afford it. But do I want to reform the military? Yes. But we just can't do it. Unfortunate, but as you wish, Mr. President. Oh, man. Oh. This video has gone on for 44 minutes. It's almost time to draw it to a close. Oh my goodness, we finally get our our trade deals worked out here. I'm going to go ahead and call this video here. Thank you so much for watching, folks. I'm going to try to do another one right behind this one because I love this game. I think it's wonderful. I just need to make sure everything is okay here at home, and then I'll start making the next video so it'll be ready for release. Second, this satellite in space. Oh, they put another one up. Raised the scientists and used some that allowed the country to reach space a second time. The functionality of the satellite was confirmed when radio contact was established after deployment. Yeah, that's cool. All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. Thank you again for watching, and thank you again for liking my videos. And if you subscribed, if you're a subscriber, thank you so much too. I can't believe that we've grown. I wanted to do a 100 subscriber special, but I'm so busy, and I'm stretched thin as it is. But 133 subscribers is far more than I ever thought that we would get, and I'm so happy that you're all here with me. So thank you again for subscribing, and thank you for liking and commenting. Have a great day, folks. I will see you in the next one.